Yeah!
Julius.
It is
Fucking hell.
the final and last time of Curse of Strahd. Alright, so where we left off, we were inside the castle, obviously, after beating away Strahd. We go up a giant tower. A lot of people fall off.
A lot is an
survived.
understatement.
So many.
And
Most
survived.
of us could fly.
Yes. Thank God some of us can fly. 3 out of 5 of us almost died, but we didn't. And there's a
Saved me from dying to a tower.
giant beaten crystal.
That
Heart
spawned
thing.
ghost dragons.
Yes, and we destroyed that, and it fell down. And me as in Julius,
Baron and Vanavi.
sorry, my dad walked into the room.
Out there.
So
Kill that.
so Vanavi, Varen, and Julius were down the bottom. They're like, fuck, we're gonna fly.
We
So
flying, bitch.
we flew up there and flew
As
across.
the tower was
eventually.
collapsing.
Yep. As the tower was finally collapsing, and we ended up in the room where previously Aerolith and the party, when Aerolith was still alive, stayed in when Strahd invited them for the first time. And then from there, we realized that, Ilda can pop her eye socket, her eye out of her eye socket for some reason. We, huh? And so then we just, with an invisible eye, Ilda, who's now only has one eye,
I activated spectator mode.
yes, you pretty much activate spectator mode for all of us.
Stalked Strahd.
Yeah, we found Strahd, and then we found a whole bunch of secret things. Saw him dance a little bit around some things, walk across walls, Saw Escher was still alive somehow, but it was like an eldritch
Ish.
horror with 3 ghosts.
He was a zombie. Calm down.
Eldritch horror, and then there was 3 ghosts of the brides, who were banshees.
It's a good time.
And then, so we watch him walk up the stage. Get the BPGC visibility. Go behind the door, go back, and we see him at Sergei's tomb with Arena with the sun blade.
Which he stole
Through her
from
chest.
me.
Yeah, which he stole from Vanavi. And you see that Arena was dead, which was unfortunate. And
Not quite dead yet.
Yeah.
We took a nap
to
and
the-
then she died.
Pretty much.
We didn't know that though. We took the note before
Yeah.
we activated that before we activated the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Which is unfortunate. And then we decided to follow the exact same path that he went. We fought the Banshees. Someone went unconscious, I think. No,
Scalder.
the DM
It was
made a
almost
mistake
me.
on the DC saving throw.
Yeah, Calder fell unconscious. Ilda almost did.
Yes. And we got
Elda
back up.
did, but then actually she didn't.
Yeah.
We climbed up the theater, go through a couple of hallways, and we face off against Strahd for the last time.
The
Enter
timeline
And-
split.
And Ilda, as Ilda does, absolutely butt fuck the living shit out of Strahd von Zarovich.
God. Said saying.
Phrasing, son. Phrasing.
Phrasing.
Praising, boy,
Yeah.
praising.
And then once he died,
Don't forget Creepy Wolf's thing was there too.
Yeah, Baron's brother.
What? Oh yeah, Baron's brother was there. We killed Baron's brother.
He died.
It was probably
Oops.
a mercy at that point, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So we kill him as well, and then so nonchalantly. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, a black oozy crown comes out of Strahd when we kill him, and when it does, it immediately goes towards Julius because we rolled contested charisma checks.
Power
First one to die.
struggle.
It was a power
I
struggle
did
between-
horribly.
Yes. Oh, I also forgot that Julius launched a literal nuke and
Yeah,
killed
how could you leave out
everyone.
the nuke?
with 183 necrotic damage.
Everyone, who do you think you're talking to?
Everyone
me.
besides
You killed
Baron.
Calder.
Killed
You
Calder
knocked
and
out
Ilda,
Vanavi.
knocked out Vanavi.
Mhm.
Varen got me back up, and then we stabbed you.
Hey, I'm getting there.
Well, you
In
weren't getting
hindsight, I
there
should have
fast
used-
enough.
Screw off. Huh? This is mine. I'm giving my iteration of the last session.
Do it better.
Oda 1, the end. Huh? You like that? You
I don't
like
Vanavi
it where I
was
missed
briefly in
out?
contention, which honestly
Where-
would
I
have been
said
hilarious.
do it better.
Yes.
That's not better.
Yes. Do you like the part where I completely missed when Vanavi tried to reach for the crown and got stuck with madness?
Oh
And he
yeah.
doesn't trust anyone anymore?
also
Vanavi has
how
become Ildra.
And Varen is now with this guy, I think.
well, first off, I saved
Quite
Calder. I saved
Yeah,
his.
Calder's still alive.
Yeah, Varen resurrected Calder.
And
Yeah,
now we're in
cool.
the epilogue of Curse of Strahd. A
Yeah.
great campaign. Surprisingly, only one person died, and that was his own free will, because it had to be done.
Ish.
I mean, Ilda kinda died.
Yeah.
But I lived!
So, well done. I'll give Aelfric inspiration when we get to that.
Nice. Do I level up?
Easy.
Does Julius level up?
You Julius
For
leveled
every
up.
time that someone asks that in this coming campaign, I'm going to subtract 1d10 of your maximum hit points.
Oh no.
Oh god.
It's a good
You're
thing I've
fucked.
never asked.
Yeah, same here. I'm just gonna sit
I'm
back.
glad I made that joke before we were in session.
So I picked a barbarian now.
Alright, so for the final die roll of the campaign, I would like Varen to roll me an insight check with advantage,
Alright.
followed by a deception check from an Vanavi with disadvantage.
Gotcha.
Inside right.
Yes.
Oh. Baron sees all.
Varen, you do notice that the interaction with the crown has driven Vanavi mad in some way. He seems to be trying to push you and Calder away in the last few weeks of you guys staying in Barovia.
Oh, look at my boy, Greater Restoration.
Get back.
Vanavi is no longer mad.
Yay.
I will now
Navi doesn't
begin-
get the bad ending.
Well, we didn't say that.
Eh.
Vanavi doesn't get the worst ending.
he gets the neutral ending.
I'll
Yeah.
just
Curse of
start,
Strahd, how many good endings could there possibly be?
2.5-ish?
2.5.
1.5-ish, depends on your perspective. I'm gonna start reading out the wrap-up for Ilda. There is a saying, a great warrior does not a wise leader make. This is not to say that Ilda, after becoming the Dark Lady of Barovia, was a ruler of malice and torture like her predecessor. However, the demands of her patron would drive her to make drastic and extreme changes to her style of rulership over the twilight decades of her rule. She began to slowly take in more and more malicious individuals that were wandering through the mists to create her army. It was her wish to protect the innocents that would harm the very innocence of her domain. As her power grew stretched thin and her ability to maintain control of her army became tenuous, it was the lack of control that led her to allow the mass exodus of Barovians from her land, led by one Father Lucian. Barovia became a wasteland of warring factions, where the strong tread on the weak, as the numbers of her vast army grew. With this growth came a terrible fear from the peoples of Gilneas, and her former subjects, two of which, a certain hex-blooded warrior and an arcanely gifted spectre, who would go on to depose her, leaving Barovia without people or ruler, an empty husk of what it once was many years ago.
Shit.
Dang.
Wow.
Augers.
Fuckers.
Hoggers.
Moving on to Julius. Julius, overcoming the cowardice of his previous life and given a third chance by Ilda, would serve as her right hand. Whether that was for good or ill, he stood by her as a stalwart defender and a hammer of retribution. The compassionate man he was, he grew known for the prosperity his counsel to Ilda brought for the laymen of Barovia. Julius became very popular among the peoples of Vallaki and the village of Barovia. However, he could not remain so soft forever. Eventually, when Ilda began to take more souls into her domain, Julius was left with little to support the peoples he loved so dearly. He responded by establishing a stranglehold over his beloved peoples, placing rationing, curfews, and other regulations he hoped would protect them from the peoples Ilda was bringing into Barovia. He knew what she was doing was for what they both believed to be the greater good, but as they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. The tyranny of the people would bear its bitter fruit in a mass exodus of the people of Vallaki, Barovia, and even Kresk out of Barovia with the allowance of their Dark Lady. These people eventually settled in the kingdom to the north of Gilneas. Julius himself would remain loyal to his friend, and stood by her until they were both killed by a group led by their former wards and friends, Rosavalda Durst and Gertruda von Holtz.
Wow. Oh shit. Rosa
Crow's just fucking
Gertrude.
kills us.
Oh, that's
And
just...
then Vanavi. Vanavi, left without his party to oppose the new Dark Lady of Barovia,
That was my dad.
secluded himself for many years, helping as he could from the shadows. Very quickly, after people began spreading rumors of dark horrors or out-of-control lycanthropes, the slain body of said horrors were all found, along with blood and feathers surrounding them. It was these scenes that led to the resurgence of an old tale of the Raven Guard. Vanavi would break his isolation when, after many years, his old ward, Rosavalda, came back to Barovia. With her and Gertruda, Vanavi was able to finally end the reign of the Dark Lady, leaving Barovia a more quiet land than when he first arrived so long ago. And then Varen? Varen would spend only a couple more weeks in Barovia before departing for the domain of Saloon. Witnesses would report that upon the initial exodus of Barovia, the clouds parted and the moon eclipsed the sun. With soft tendrils of light, the gentle giant of Barovia was lifted into the sky and transformed into a star that would hover over the northern continent that was his homeland, and would shine brighter than all others in the sky. Before his departure, Varen would grant a blessing from the Morning Lord and the Daughter Moon unto his family hammer, which would later be used by the hero Gertruda in her fight against the Dark Lady of Barovia. Shattering in this final confrontation, its two halves would be forged into new weapons, Dawnbringer and the Moonblade, becoming famous weapons for good and justice in their own right.
Like the
Give me a
Moonblade
minute.
that Keldon wielded?
I mean, if we're doing that,
I like how all of us
dagger.
are out here fighting each other, and then Vera's just like, I'm gonna become a star now.
Just like, okay, bye.
Peace.
I mean, if
One
you're
second,
doing with
we
that,
still need Calder.
Yeah.
oh no, I was gonna say something.
Peace.
Calder had no interest in remaining in Barovia, and so he began to wander the mists of dread, moving from different planes, helping people where he could. His mind was constantly plagued with nightmares, greatly disrupting his meditations for many years until he became accustomed to them. In time, he came to find these nightmares were prophetic visions, showing him the next place for him to go, and the next group of people for him to help. This was how Calder lived, a vagrant warrior with an off-putting appearance, who fought to help those he could. Sometimes, in times of great need, people had found themselves in the nightmare. People who had found themselves in the nightmare would be paid a visit by a swarm of insects in the shape of a man, who would bestow gifts of wisdom and might onto them, and then disappear into the mists.
Man, Calder's the real cryptid out here.
Yeah, like Calder's even more
Calder's
cryptic
the-
than me.
Yeah,
Calder's the real
motherfucker's a
one out here.
Ronin.
Calder is up ultimate cryptid.
I'm just
Honestly,
gonna read Navi's bad worse ending.
Oh yeah.
I really,
Oh,
I
please.
really like that ending for my character.
Yeah, he just
Great.
turns into a
Navi's bad
Ronin.
end was a really bad end.
Driven mad by the crown of domination, Vanavi has learned he cannot trust anyone, and and slowly began to drive everyone he knew and has been friends with away from him. Slowly he began to draw himself inward, withdrawing from all but the were-ravens of Barovia. In his condition, he would do what little he could to thwart Ilda's attempts to build an army, until he was driven to the northern shore of Lake Zarevich, where he began to waste away until little of his original personality remained. His blessing reflected his inner psyche, morphing him into a hunched-over, feathered creature that soon became myth among the few residents of Barovia.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Come
So
spooky lake man.
Gertruda and Rose. I
yeah.
was not expecting that. That
No.
was awesome. So Rose finally got her own body then.
No, she was with Gertruda.
Oh.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, so she became a shadow boxer for Gertrude.
Yeah.
Even though they
Hey, let me
both
show you what I did to your creepy parents.
Okay, I have a pun for her now. I have a pun for her.
Oh God.
So Rose's new nickname is Gertruda Protruder.
Shut up.
No.
What do you guys think? Any alterations you would prefer to make?
Actually, I really like that.
That was sick.
I get it like my. No, I'm kidding. I totally like my.
Rahadine. Oh, Rahadine.
Gotta take Randy with us to do our taxes.
Yes.
Occasionally,
say
I walk around
for reference, if you guys didn't catch it, the Dawnbringer is Uther's weapon.
Oh.
Ah!
So-
I thought it sounded familiar, but I couldn't quite place
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I was like, damn. So Baron's Warhammer just became two OP weapons in their own right.
it. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Josh left. He just left us here.
Well, we're done with
He's
Strahd.
abandoned us to Barovia.
And will
We are
Strahd
trapped
ever
here
find his
forever. We can
purse?
never leave.
We will
We'll
make
share
a
our
return to these to two of these characters
Yeah.
someday.
Someday.
Someday. Sometime.
And
Well,
Probably soonish.
Will Strahd ever find his purse? I think no.
Oh my god, Strahd's dead.
So he definitely won't find his purse.